Welcome back to FC Malaga City, the club. Fantastic to be recording and getting our show back out to families, all the people that follow us, social media, and try and give a little insight into what's going on here at the club. It's been a very, very busy off-season. We're back in now. We're 5-6 games in with both the Femenino and our men's team playing again in Tercera, which we're delighted about, and we'll come to that. Some fantastic guests lined up today. We're going to have Liam Bicket, long-serving senior player, now under-21 head coach, and our club captain, Angel Arreola. We cannot wait to hear their thoughts, see what they're thinking, how they've found pre-season, what they've enjoyed, and look at their history here at our fantastic football club. In other news, keeping everyone up to date, we've renewed with Tottenham Hotspur for the next 3 years, something that we're very excited about. Being a global partner last year was a great taste. It allowed us to really get inside a Premier League club, learn a little bit more about how they're working at the elite levels, training, and to now renew for another 3 years. We're hoping that's going to see some fantastic pluses, not just for our younger players, but also now selfishly, can we start to be an attractive option for loan moves, getting players in, helping our senior men's team, and why not the women as well. With the men's team currently, we have Kameni, La Liga legend, goalkeeper, coming in to train with us and to show now the profile that we have and the interest that, you know, people of that stature and that magnitude that have done so much in the game want to spend their time, give their time to come down, help our young players, enjoy our training environment. It's been a real plus. And on the signings, we couldn't be more thrilled to bring to you, you know, Dante Gilbert spent almost 18 months here at the academy, now signing with young PSV, you know, probably the most high profile signing today, a fantastic young man who, you know, we enjoyed having here in our U19s. And seeing him now playing in the second tier of Dutch football, you know, it gives you goosebumps and shows you why we're here and what we're working so hard to achieve every single day. Lots more updates as we go through the show, but I think enough hearing from me. I'd like to welcome our first guest, and Angel, if he can come over and join us.
Hey George.
Hey, thanks for your time, buddy.
Thanks for having me.
I appreciate you coming in. But I mean, special guest to start the season off. You know, I think it's been some time that you've been here. I mean, 4 or 5 seasons now. Talk us a bit through about your journey and how you see it, and what's maybe your first memories. And I mean, I've got certainly some of you, but you tell us in your words.
Some first memories?
Yeah.
Civitas. I went straight there from the airport, I remember. I mean, I was 17, I was super young, I didn't know anyone.
Yeah.
I remember at the time I was super shy, so I wasn't really talking to many people.
Yeah.
As I got to know them, there were like some kids from my area, so I started getting more comfortable, and
yeah.
I mean, it wasn't much of a language barrier, so there was no problem with that, but
I mean, if you remember rightly, I remember when you first came, actually arrived injured, you know, we were working with Wayne for you to come over, and then we were really excited. We had really big reviews. You know, he's a good friend of mine and, you know, a fantastic coach, the work he's doing there. This guy's coming from Las Vegas, can't wait to get him in and see how he does. We'll start him training with the U19s. Turns out, I think he came for a 2-week period.
Yeah, that was in April.
Yeah, and it was your knee?
I had just sprained my MCL like a week before. It was a State Cup. It was one of the more serious leagues we take for like local club out there, but I remember I went for a 50-50, sprained my ankle, and I had already bought my ticket for everything to come out here, so I still came out, yeah.
I mean, I think that showed a lot, and that was kind of the real first time we got an insight to who you are as a person. I mean, you took the effort to come all the way from Las Vegas, you're injured, you couldn't train, you were quite shy, we still got to know you, and obviously that then built a platform for coming back the year after. But what's the soccer scene like? Obviously, soccer in the States, you know, you're from Las Vegas. Talk us through, how is the differences, you know, compared to the football here, or what did you find initially when you came?
Well, I mean, in Vegas, there isn't really much to offer for me. It was a bunch of like a local club, and they have a USL team, Las Vegas Lights, but even then, they don't really bring in much local players. It's mostly people from out of state or other countries, but it's completely different because here in the professional environment, there's more specifics, details, tactical stuff, and in local club, it wasn't really a serious thing as it is here. So being here, like my first academy, like is for sure a big difference. Yeah.
And how have you found, obviously it's so long now, you know, you're kind of, your teenage years, you're growing up here, you know, you're part of our family, but that means you're away from your real family, you know, and you've got, was it 9-hour time difference to back home?
9-hour difference, yeah.
How have you managed that, or how does that impact you?
To be honest, I adjusted really quickly. I didn't really get homesick.
Okay.
I was actually surprised. I came here expecting to feel weirded out being away from home, but no, I felt good. It didn't really bother me too much, but.
And you guys set up times to have Zooms and things or video calls?
Yeah, I mean, I'm always talking to them, so.
I see your family active on Facebook as well.
Yeah, my family's a big Facebook family, yeah.
No, really, really nice to see. And I mean, what would you describe, like, if you're now here really at the pinnacle of our club, you know, you've played every minute so far this season, Tessera. You know, first year you played senior football, you're the only player to play every minute. You've kind of done the ideal journey for a lot of the young guys that you know are actually a lot younger than you now. You know, when you first came in, you were the young one and you were still a young player, but I think last year as a U23 player this year, what kind of advice or tips or hints would you give to these aspiring academy players? You're coming into Malaga City this year, 17 years old. How do they follow your trajectory?
Well, based on my experience, what I did, I basically came prepared to like learn from others, because I didn't come here thinking I was gonna be the best, and which was true. There was a bunch of other great players, so it was more every day in training. I would look at little details and try to take from it. Like for example, Primera Andalusia year, first senior season. I was partnered with Ivan, very experienced. Sure. He's been through it all already. So every little thing he would do, I'd basically try to mimic it and try to do it better.
Sure.
You know?
And that's a really big point you put there, you know. So we talk a lot at the minute, because obviously we had the kind of the famous trio, which knows yourself, your good buddy Cameron and Neil, that kind of graduated from that U19 team. Them became a big part of the senior squad. And we're saying, why has there not been as many players that are doing that? You know, do you think that it helped you guys a lot, the state of where the senior team was at that moment, in terms of that we're in Andalusia, not in Tessera? Maybe the jump wasn't quite so significant, because you know now you're playing U19 football, going to Tessera, and we're signing obviously guys from Cordoba. You know, we've got Luca Menis coming in from Espanyol, Malaga, and they're great players. They're doing well, but it's difficult to make that transition. You know, so from Malaga City U19s to senior. How do you see that?
Well, I mean, I think in our specific situation, like me, Cameron, Neil, when you surround yourself with good people, you start to pick up good habits, right? So us three being the people we are, we don't do bad things. So we always try to do everything the best we can. And I think what helped us was our academy year, we trained a lot with the seniors. So it made that transition to go to senior level a lot easier. Like me and Cam, I think we had already signed our academy year. But since COVID hit and it was all done, we didn't really play. But before signing, we had already had all these training sessions with the seniors, so it made the transition a lot easier.
And in terms of, you know, yourself going forwards now, obviously, you know, you're going to be a huge part of the team this year. You're playing centre back, which I think you're a bit happy about. You know, it's probably a more natural position for you. You know, you came here as a holding midfield player, centre back, and then, you know, last year obviously helped us a lot playing left back. What sort of goals do you set for yourself? I mean, do you set them week to week, or do you have a goal for the season? Do you feel it's the year you can make the jump and move on to another club? Well, this season we've started off way better than last year. So now my expectations kind of are a little higher than before. You know, coming on from last year, and then starting a very good season this year, like it changes, you know. So for me, in the beginning, at the start, it was like, I want to be better than next year. But we're already like exceeding that. So now I'm trying to change and set to like a new long-term goal, which is maybe more clean sheets. I haven't really set it fully yet, but I for sure want like at least double, maybe if we can triple the clean sheets from last year. That'd be fantastic. Less goals conceded. That's what. In personal terms. A lot of points, and it'd be nice to see you chipping in a few goals this year as well. Nearly against Arenas, you know, at the end there. I've had some close calls already. Rincon as well, back post. But do you feel kind of pressure when, you know, the academy now, we've got maybe 150 young athletes below you. Do you feel they're looking up to you, or do you enjoy sort of thrive and being that role model for them? I mean, yeah, I enjoy it because I've done exactly what they've done. And for me, it shows they could have that same pathway that me and Cam are going on to now. So I do enjoy having that image and inspiration, if I could, to those players. And
And I mean, I'm always happy to help them. So
that's fantastic. I mean, this year, your first time as well, giving us a hand with some part-time, doing some coaching, going and being a mentor for those guys. How are you finding that? Sort of
I enjoy it. I'm actually really loving it now, even though we're only a month in, but like, it's really fun. Last year, I was doing the Almun football basket kid, a bunch of local kids. So towards the end, I was doing that on my own.
Yeah.
So I was running the sessions, the warm-ups, the lineups. So it was easier to get used to that this year now. Yeah.
And then, football, you've had a lot of success and a lot of great moments, and we see you lifting trophies, and we'll come to some memories in a moment. But obviously, there's the hard side of it as well. You've been on some trials that haven't quite come to fruition yet. And then I think this summer for you guys, the kind of, not the honeymoon finish, but Neil obviously moved on to a new club, and you guys were kind of split up, and that's kind of going to be part of the next 10 years for you, where you make these really close friends and maybe you go to a different team, sign. How has that process been, and how is it this year with you guys not all being together?
I mean, we're always talking, and he was a close friend. Like, we built this bond that will probably never break now. So that's lovely. It's not hard to let go of the boys. It's fine as long as we're all moving on. There's nothing to complain about.
I mean, you guys are all hungry. You seem to have like your head very clear what you want, and you're an inspiration to me. I text you privately sometimes and say, for me, you really embolize what is Malaga City, and you've become that poster boy. And I just got to say, to anyone who doesn't know you, it's more than deserved, and you work so hard all the time and give everything. Every game that I see you play, you're someone that gives more than 100% always, and I hope it can continue for as long as possible in a Malaga City shirt, and we can grow to the level that you might be able to carry on this journey all together. And if not, I know you're going to move on to something great. But we have got a little game, okay? So we've got some of your moments from your time here at the club. So we're going to go have a look at those in a moment, and I'm very interested to see your opinion on the ones that we picked, and maybe you've got a surprise one that we've forgotten.
Okay.
Fantastic to be back, and as promised, Angel, we've got here on the board with us a few moments. Hopefully you're happy with them. Hopefully they're ones that you wanted to see up here, and we'll get to that afterwards. But we're gonna couple of cards down there. What we're looking for you to do, we'll go through them. We've got going on trial with Mallorca. I know we've spoken into that before. Making your debut, like we said, jumping from the 19s. Probably the most famous game in the club's history, the Trabuco game. You can see Fred Quinder there scoring the winning goal right at the death that probably got us to where we are now, really, that win. Promotion back-to-back, straight to Tercera, the Three Musketeers again there. Being named our captain, and playing obviously a La Masia, which very few young men can say that they've done. So grab the cards. You've got also to stick them. I want you to go in the reverse order. We don't know the number one straight away.
Okay. So number 6.
And talk us through why, if you can.
I got you. Okay. Number 6, I'd probably have to go with the trial at Mallorca. I mean, great experience, everything, beautiful facilities, quality players, quality coaches. But
did you go to Cadiz first or to Mallorca first? Was that your first trial?
No, that was not that was my most recent, actually.
Most recent, okay. And did you feel that the trials before helped you prepare for that, or?
Oh, yeah. Walking into like a changing room with a bunch of guys I don't know, coaches I don't know, like the system they do, like, also, for sure, yeah.
They have a different language there slightly to Castellano as well? They speak like a local language or no?
I mean, it wasn't dramatically different, but it was pretty different. I didn't really struggle to understand them much, but.
Fantastic. Number 5.
The number 5, I would go with the senior team debut.
Too easy, no?
It'll get difficult once you get more, but I think it is very meaningful, but there are some big moments that I gotta just put on the top, like 2, top 3. Yeah. Number 3.
Number 4.
Oh, sorry, number 4. This is where it gets, this one got me thinking a little bit. And I think I'm gonna have to go with team captain, because even though that's a big role given to me, a big accomplishment, at the end of the day, everyone feels like a leader, you know? Like, there was a bunch of experienced players. I'm still listening to them, like, if they're captains, even though I was wearing the armband, but...
What, were you surprised at that selection when it happened?
In the spot, not really.
Yeah.
Because Division d'Honneur year, Juan Carlos decided to give me the band whenever Ivan was hurt.
So you kind of had already
on
been
the bench. So it was like warming me up. Yeah. But I mean, it was easy to get accustomed to.
Amazing achievement as a 21-year-old.
Yeah, it definitely felt good. Yeah. And then
now it gets really tough now.
And then number 3, I'm about to go
Barcelona.
Playing La Masia. The reason I have this at number 3, like pretty high up there, is because it's my favorite team. It's like probably one of the only teams I actually support. You know, like I actually care what their results are when they play. Like every other team, I enjoy watching. I would say I'm a fan, but I'm not really a supporter. You know, Barcelona I actually really support.
And so what was it like that day when I was very fortunate to be there as well, and you're standing up and you look across at the opposition for the day and you see that badge that you've watched so many years? Can you remember anything that was going through your head?
I mean, I can remember the night before, I was super excited.
Yeah?
Super excited. It was almost hard to sleep because I was ready to wake up just to play them. But obviously there's a little nerves. I wanted to play good against them because you never know what could happen.
Of course, could
have been. That's a core memory for sure.
Amazing. Now the big one. Number 1 and number 2.
Should I go number 1 or number 2?
I think go number 2. Yeah, go number 2.
I'll go number 2. Number 2 is the winning promotion to Tercera. That is, although we got promoted the year before, which was a surreal season, winning it just by 0
points. Yeah, whatever it was. Yeah,
it was 0.01 win by average or something like that, but. It was so close. That was incredible. This, Tercera is where it gets like real, you know? People, proper players, coaching, like professional environments.
Yeah.
And you have like actual attendance in these games. It's the closest I've been to like a professional environment. This is the best level I played at, so it has to be up there.
How do you think the level, like having a season now in Tercera, would you say it's similar to USL?
In Tercera? I feel like USL might be a little higher, you know? Probably like if you combine the best Terceras and the lower Segunda Ref teams and put that in the league, maybe like it might be the same. Yeah. But there's still quality teams and players in
high
USL.
Last year, 4,000 people.
Was 4,000. That was one of the greatest environments. Like so many people to watch, great field.
And the final, so away win at Trabuco. Talk us through the day and the game.
The reason I put this one up as number 1 is because I feel like without this game, we wouldn't be where we are now. Yeah. Last minute, I think it was 96. I still watch it every now and then, like the highlights, because it was an incredible moment. But I've never had an experience like that feeling of saving our team. Well, it was Quinda that saved us last minute goal. Saving the team to have a chance to get promoted. We still had a game after that, which we had won 5-0, and that secured the promotion. But that game, we were down 3-2. Yeah. 96-minute Quinda scores outside the box. It was one of the most surreal moments.
The emotion as well.
The celebration was crazy. Yeah, we had coaches crying on the sideline.
It was amazing.
It was
I think
an
that
amazing
whole
moment.
year. I mean, I think it wasn't just what we experienced in our team. We were coming back from COVID. The start of the season, there was no fans. To train was so difficult, and I think we worked through. If you remember, we started training on the cricket pitch in Coin because no public facilities were open. I think that was like a day of like emotion of what we had to live through with like the being closed in our homes and things like that, and what we'd kind of battled through just to even play football, and then to finish like that with a promotion.
The hard work the team had to put in that season since preseason was incredible. Yeah,
absolutely amazing. And if you remember as well, they split the things into regions. There was one group of 10 and one group of 11, and they let the points carry over. So we started with like 6 points less.
So first place, it was Ronda. First place in their league had like 6 more points than us.
Exactly.
And we were still able to pass them up.
I still can't believe they brought it back through. But and they just want to say huge congratulations. There's not many young people at start. You're still very much at the initial stage of your career to have all these memories already, and what you mean to me as a friend most of all, and to be part of your journey and watch what you're doing. Thank you so much for giving up your time and coming in, and I can't wait to see you this weekend and get 3 points.
Of course.
And when we come back, we'll be inviting in another fantastic guest from our first team. Very excited for him to tell us his journey, and some of you might know him already, some of you might have him as your coach. We'll play the video and we'll see you afterwards.
Liam, dictate the game. Make sure that everything goes through you. You are the number 4, right? So you have to have the responsibility. Excellent, Liam. Well done, Liam.
I'm delighted to be joined now by second guest of the first episode of the club, Liam Bicket. Thank you again. I know you had to train today, you've had to rush over to come in, so thanks for giving up your time, and welcome to the club.
Thanks for having me.
No, fantastic. So I mean, long-serving player, coach, friend, everything here. I mean, how long has it been now?
This is my 5th year, going into my 5th year. Yeah, we met 6 years ago in America together, and then the year later started my process here.
That was a different experience for sure. And I remember when we were going out to Grand Rapids, speaking to Lewis, the coach there, before we went, and he said, "Oh, lad coming in, saw your highlight tapes, was very excited to get playing you in the middle." We sort of hit it off from the start. It was a somewhat strange summer season out there in the USL and that, but I think to meet you was one of the big positives. And as soon as I knew you weren't fixed up for the next year, I think I was blowing up your phone saying, "Would you fancy trying something a little bit different?" But I mean, obviously, been a great player here. We've had ups and downs with promotions. You've had injury trouble last season. We've had the year, with Vandalias and all different things. But off the pitch as well, how has it been? I mean, you've kind of made a whole life for yourself here. I'm saying you've got a partner now.
Yeah. No, it's been an emotional roller coaster for sure, from playing and off the pitch too. Obviously, like you said, we've had really good ups with the promotions with the 2 teams, both into Division Honor, and also the one with Angel into Tercera. I started the season there, and then later went to Almun for the promotion with Almun. Obviously, the downs come with that as well. With the first season I was here, we lost the playoff final in the last minute to a penalty. So
feels like a lifetime ago now.
Feels like a lifetime ago. It's true. It's true. But yeah, obviously that's one of the biggest downs for me, and it's still annoys me to the day. So it was nice to get revenge on them a few years later.
We're not bitter though. Yeah.
Well, obviously the off the pitch stuff too. Obviously, it's a different environment to where I was living before. I'm really comfortable where I am. Obviously, I have the girlfriend here now as well. So very happy with where I'm at.
Oh, it's amazing. It's been great to see your personal growth and really kind of setting your adult life up over here. But in terms of without getting in too deep too quickly, you've worked so hard. I remember when you came here, I sold you the dream, so to speak, of we're going to work our way through to Tercera. That's the goal. I believe that we can make a football club with like-minded people. Run it pretty much ourselves. We don't have a board. We're all young people here, and we've shocked a lot of critics and things like that. We get to Tercera. You're there last year. Injury, nerve problems, calf, sort of on-off. You did finally make your debut, which for me, I remember saying to you, I'm so happy about that. But how do you feel? Do you feel like there's a thirst for more? Do you feel a little bit frustrated? Talk us through that. How would you take that kind of, the team's gone one way and you haven't quite been able to do, I'm sure, what you'd love to on the pitch so far?
Yeah, I think frustration is the word.
Yeah.
Obviously, going through the process of Primera Andalusa and Division Honor, and then finally having the opportunity to start in Tercera, and then obviously the nerve problem happened and the hip problem. And I was out for 5-6 months, I think, in the end. Obviously, unbelievable feeling to make the debut, but still feel like I can give more to the team than what I've been given. Finding rhythm with minutes. Still need to get back to my top level to help the team, which ultimately is what I still want to do. Obviously, I still really enjoy being a player and being part of the club on that side of things. So for me, I still have the drive to want to do more, and to try and be in the starting 11s going forward, and to continue pushing myself as a player too.
And I think, so come away, obviously we changed the coaching a little bit this year. Spoke to you, was delighted to have you involved in the squad. Going to be a big part, I hope, this year. We get back, and a bizarre injury at the start of this pre-season with the blister. I mean, I don't even talk about it on camera because what I had to witness was not nice. So you missed the pre-season now, which probably was where you wanted to set yourself up, and it was through an injury that essentially wasn't muscle or tendon or anything like that. It felt something so small, but obviously hindered you so much. And what mental side are you going through now, or what advice would you give to our players? Because sometimes in the academy they're very for me, not necessarily short-tempered, but they don't have patience. And you're in a position now where you got in the squad last week and you're having to sort of play catch-up. What would you share on that kind of experience and side of things?
I think obviously it's a massive part of football. You're never going to go through your whole career playing. There's always going to be the downside of things with injuries or little setbacks. So obviously for me last year was an injury, came back, started playing, worked so hard in pre-season to come back as fit as possible. And the same happened again. And like you said, it's very, very frustrating, and sometimes it's hard to push yourself because you get in your own head, and it's very disappointing, and it's quite easy to go downwards from there.
Yeah.
But you know, with experience of being around other people as well that have helped me through it, and speaking to other people with more experience than myself, you have to continue pushing yourself because football is a short career, and if you want to make the most of it, you have to make the most of every single day. So you don't have time to be in your own head. You have to develop professional habits and you know, continue to push yourself every day to get back to where you want to be.
Definitely. So Liam Bicket, the FC Malaga City, you know, veteran now almost with 5 years, one of the most longest serving players. Let's delve back a little bit, you know, into where was your development at? You know, it's a big part of your journey was, you know, the Nike Academy.
Yeah.
It looks like, you know, Disneyland for footballers from the outside. Lots of great marketing. Looks very exciting. What was the realities like, and what was your experience there? What would you sort of sum it up, or?
I think it's true that it is like a Disneyland for players, because you have the top facilities, you have boot deals, you have the clothes coming in that you know, for free. It's a crazy experience, something that a lot of players, you know, maybe don't get to experience. It's a top level place to work, and obviously we have top level fixtures. So we played the Barcelonas, the Romas, Inter Milans, and teams like that. So incredible experience on that side.
Yeah.
But the reality of it is, it's still a very competitive and intense environment, and it's almost ruthless.
Right.
Some players come in and they try and reach the level, and they don't reach the level within 2-3 months, and they change for another player.
Right, wow.
It was a very, very ruthless system on the inside, and the majority of players that come, they only get 1 year.
Right.
So it's you have to go and you have to make the most of your opportunity.
Hope they get injured, things like that.
Yeah, and as I said before, every day counts, because if you drop below the level, there's another player waiting to come in to take your place, and I think that's the reality of being in a top environment. Definitely. There's always someone pushing to try and take your spot.
Have to pinch yourself there walking into train at St George's Park every day though, no?
Incredible.
Do you ever get to rub shoulders or see any of the international players when they come on site, or is it a bit divided?
Yeah, so crazy experience on that side too. There was numerous occasions where, for example, Barcelona came on tour, and our changing room was on one side of the corridor, and we walked outside to go to training, and the whole squad's walking through the corridor. So we get to see them personally, you know, away from the cameras and stuff like that, how they act in their own time. And also with the England setup, they're obviously based there when they do the international camps. Yeah. So if we're using the hydro pool, for example, or the ice bath, sometimes we'll be in the ice bath, and players will walk in and come and join us in the ice bath and have conversations with the players.
Messi bothering you for an autograph.
He wasn't there that time, to be fair. He was on duty somewhere else.
But, you know, very much a football player, got a long time left in those legs, and especially the way you sort of get around the pitch, and very hard-working player. But as you're mature and developing now, obviously, you've started a coaching journey as well. We're very grateful. We feel very fortunate to have a coach like yourself that, you know, you have so many of the values that we seek as a football club, as a DNA. You have great experience, like we just spoke about there. I mean, those stories are incredible. Even hearing myself, some of those are new, you know. Been at professional clubs before that, you know, as well. To pass on that to help guide these and young men, you know, and as people as well. How have you found your coaching journey so far? And is it something that you've enjoyed? What have you sort of learned about yourself?
I've enjoyed it, for sure. It's also been a big learning process for me, because naturally I'm quite shy, and the communication side of things with people doesn't come as easily. Over time, that's obviously something as a coach I've had to improve, for sure. I think my first year was probably my most difficult, as it is for most people.
Of course.
It's a new environment. You're on the other side of the white line, as they say. You know, you have to build different types of relationships with players, and I really had to push myself on that side of things with the communication and the talk. And obviously, the experiences I have as a player, I hope to be able to push them into the younger players within the club as well.
Have you found any reverse things coming back from, now I'm doing this, getting this skill set as a coach? Has that helped you on the playing side in any ways?
I think so, because when you coach, you have to really analyse the game, and sometimes take a step back, and it's, you see the opposition's formation, for example, and you have to say, okay, well, how do we break this down? And then you go back on the pitch as a player, and it's like, well, I've thought about this so many times, and it kind of helps you read the game in the flow of the game. Obviously, it's completely different looking from the outside, but there are moments in the game where it's like, well, I've seen this situation numerous times now from the sideline, and the ball goes here, it goes on the other side.
I think the communication as well. For me, seeing you now, when you first come, you were very quiet on the pitch, even speaking in English, and now, sometimes I see you barking orders in Spanish. So big change. Like you say, you're maybe more of a quiet character, in your verbal communication, but definitely improving all the time. And I've just got to say, seeing you go and start your UEFA licenses as well, I think was a big step, and I think you're building yourself, for a massive career after football, and especially if you can get the next licensing done, it's going to put you in real good stead, whether you carry on playing until you're 40 or, when you go on and start coaching. So, on that, what kind of goals do you set yourself, or do you see yourself in the next sort of, obviously, season this year in Tessera, next sort of 3-4 years? Is there a wedding on the cards just yet?
Not just yet, but it's a possibility in the future, of course. But no, for me as a player, I want to continue pushing myself and playing as good a level as I can. Tessera is a very, very good level, and I'm happy where I'm at. Obviously, I need to continue to push myself with the setbacks I've had, to push myself in the team more and continue to try and provide for the team. So that's one of my goals as a player. Obviously, as a coach right now, I have the perfect balance of playing and coaching. So it's the best environment for myself, and I'm very happy with my environment because I get to play at a good level while also coaching and developing at a good level too, and in a full-time environment, which I think learning and starting to learn the coaching phase, and obviously going through my UEFA licenses, I think it's very important to be doing that side of things as well, because I do want to continue coaching after playing. I'm happy on the coaching side, so the most amount of full-time experience I can get as a coach is obviously a massive benefit for when I finish playing too.
And I think as well, you're relatively at the start of what is your coaching journey, and like you say, to have your players 4 or 5 days a week. Normally when you start off, maybe you've got a grassroots team where they train Tuesday, Thursday, and that's your hours that you're getting, so you're getting to practice, put on practices, make mistakes, learn from them, get better all the time. It's amazing. I think to see what you're doing and the work you're putting in with the boys is tremendous, And what would you say, as someone, like you say, that all those years ago, you've been here pre-COVID, post-COVID, all the ugly, all the good in between. What's the main kind of changes you see in the football club and that you've experienced with your own eyes?
Obviously, the 2 senior teams that are involved are obviously playing now at higher levels. Is one of the biggest changes. So that the attraction for players coming in. There's a higher level of player coming in for the senior teams. I think the deal that's been made with Tottenham is excellent. The players get to experience something different when they go there. They get to see how a top club functions, and that's something that we didn't necessarily have in the first couple of years that I was here. And I think now over the years as well, we've developed better relationships with top clubs. So every year now it's 3, 4, 5, maybe even 6 really top games against big clubs. So I think it's growing and growing and growing.
No, for sure, and I think you're a big part of that as well. Like you say on the playing side, I'm sure you look around the dressing room sometimes. Player turns up, gets to go straight into Tessera, and we had to battle our way through the regional leagues on the way up, and some not so attractive pitches, and going away to Malaga City or Arreola, But interesting. We're going to finish off. Again, thank you so much for your time. We're going to have a little look at your ideal starting 11. So I'm excited to see some names on there. This is across your whole career, so this can be from when you play under-7s football to teammates you might have currently. So we're going to spend a couple of minutes, go and have a look, and I want to hear a little bit of a reason for each player as well. Very excited to have Liam here, see who's going to come up, what kind of variety of players. Obviously, you play with people from all across the world, not just here, but in the Nike Academy. There was players coming from Australia, from Africa, everywhere, So take us away. Let's see, where are you going to look to start? Maybe start with the goalkeeper.
Start with the goalkeeper.
Yeah.
First one, the goalkeeper. Okay. Go with player Tim Hema. So I play with him at the Nike Academy. Very, very, very good goalkeeper. And now he's currently playing, I think, in Ireland in the first division. But really, he really helped me in my football career because I had a similar experience to him where I was injured for more than a year. And he came into the academy and he'd come off the back of a fractured skull. So really big injury, and I got to see how his habits, you know, every day off the pitch, working to come back onto the pitch, working, and that's something that I had to do in the future, to follow on from him. So I really learned a lot from him and about the professional mindset, and he's still playing to this day at a good level.
Is there many players, or is there a lot that have sort of fallen out of the game, or?
There's quite a lot that fell out of the game, but there's also quite a lot playing in the top level of football or the second division of football. So
incredible.
Yeah. Next player will go right back. So one of my best friends, Curtis Hansford, he's called. Okay. Again, it's another player from the academy, but he was my roommate in the academy. Okay. And he came from Bournemouth Academy. Really good player, really talented player. He actually fell out of the system. He's now working in business or something like that. But it's another player that really pushed me to keep going with my injury, because I was with him every day. He helped me with anything that I needed when I couldn't walk properly. Yeah. And a really, really good guy. So he's there for that reason too, similar to Tim.
Was it ACL when you were there?
ACL and broken humerus 1 month later. So I came back, played 3 games, and I broke my humerus. So 1 year from football.
Had no luck over that.
No. Next player, I played with him when I was 13, 14. Yeah. Is Rob Holding. He was at Arsenal last season and recently moved to Crystal Palace. So a player with obviously lots and lots of quality, playing at the top level. Again, the habits that you take from a player like that, even at a young age, the way that he pushed himself every single day in training, the intensity he trained at was unbelievable.
And so you say you played with him at 13 years old. Did you see a difference from the group you were working with at the time? Was he head and shoulders above everyone, or what did he have apart from the habits?
He was one of the most talented players in the group.
Yeah.
He was a centre-back that was very, very, very good with the ball, which, you know, that stood out. Yeah. So he did stand out in that aspect. But the main thing that stood out about him was every training session, and even before the training session and after the training session, he was looking after himself. Right. He was a professional even at that age. Wow. So that's the thing that stood out for me with him.
Incredible.
Other centre-back. Remember my centre-back.
Come back to it.
We'll go left back first. Left back is yourself.
I was worried you were going to say that.
You mean yourself. For the reason of, obviously, good player, played at a good level as well. But for obviously the reason, when I went to America, it was a difficult time for me. I wasn't playing much football in England, and I wasn't sure where I was going to go next. Sure. And then obviously we had the conversations that we had, and I came out here, and it's kind of been up and up and up from there. So the opportunity that you provide me, one as a player, to come back training full time, and obviously as a coach too now, is unbelievable.
I'm privileged to be there. Thank you so much.
The first midfielder, player that I played with at Salford, Richie Wellens.
Oh, okay.
So another quality player. Yeah. The opposite end of the spectrum. So Rob was younger, training with me. He was obviously much older, much more experienced. Yeah. So the amount of experience and knowledge and game IQ that you take from a player like that is...
It's like a sponge every day now.
Yeah, whenever you're around him, you're trying to take on new information, and still at the age of, I think he was 39 when I was playing with him, was still unbelievable.
Did he come through at Liverpool, was it, or where did he come through? I'm not sure.
I think he was in Manchester United Academy, moved on to Liverpool, and then he was playing in the Premier League for Leicester. So a top player.
Still fit when you could still move around when you were playing?
They had to stop the bleep test.
Yeah.
They had to stop the bleep test because he was going longer and longer and longer.
Absolutely amazing.
Put these two together for the same reason as these two. It's a midfielder called Marvin and a left winger. His name is Fabian Senega. Both those players were injured at the same time as me.
Okay.
So 1 year out from training for all of us, all three of us, the same amount of time out from the pitch. Just rehabbing, working together, pushing each other. And I think without those two players would have been a completely different rehab, because every day we had to push each other and, you know, continue to push.
How is that when you go in and you know you're going to be out for quite a long time, and it sounds like you had a great group of people that you all work together, but I mean, you see all the rest of your teammates, you have a bit of a banter at the start of the morning, then they go out and train. You normally stay back with the physios or go to the gym to do work or rehab rather. And how is that process? What does it feel like watching everyone train?
Very difficult, and especially with the setup that we had, the gym was facing the pitch, so you could always see it. So when you go to the gym, you're hungry and you're like, I want to be there. Yeah. So if anything, it pushes you to do your exercises, and it pushes you to do more to recover your body as quickly as possible to get onto the pitch. And the other side of things, it's very frustrating because you're seeing everyone enjoying themselves, moving the ball around, you know, having fun, which football is about fun too. Exactly, yeah. And you're inside, grafting, you can't walk properly, it's tough. Yeah. But
made you a stronger person, no?
I think so, mentally for sure.
Yeah. Who's going to score your goals? Getting to the top end of the pitch now.
These two players I'll put together as well. So fortunately with the Nike Academy, we had 1 week of two players coming in, professional players that were still playing. Jolene Lescott, centre back, and James Milner. Wow. So those two players were friends of the assistant coach. And they came in and they trained with us for a week and a half, more or less. And again, learning from top professionals, and I think the habits that you see from them every day and the way they train is, again, like you said, it's like a sponge. You have to be like a sponge, absorb everything that you can. And I think in that short amount of time training with those guys was
what was his character like off the pitch, like around the dressing room and things like that? Is he as serious as people say, or
no? He's actually quite full of jokes, and he likes to talk with people, and he's quite lively, to be fair. But the other thing, what people say, that he works and works and works, it couldn't be, you know, it's true. Yeah. It's completely true. He was always in the gym before the session. He was always in the gym after the session. You know, he's a top professional, and we saw that within 1 week. So, and that's all year round for him. Yeah. All year round the same. And we had numerous conversations with him, and it's a yearly process. And I think every year he wins the fitness test with Liverpool. So incredible person. Both of them, both incredible people. The top one, the striker, we'll go striker first. You know him yourself from the beach football. Is Benjamin Da Silva. Again, more of a beach football player, plays for Brazil national team beach football, but played 11-a-side too. Yeah. Incredible player.
Technical, I imagine.
Very technical. But also my first experience with a player that doesn't speak any English. Okay. So, you know, to build the relationship with him, and we're very good friends now over time, was the first experience where I've had to kind of, you know, you push yourself to get to know someone else of a different language, which now, culture. In my environment now, can be the same for some players coming in, the same with the Spanish, you know, we have a couple of Portuguese with us this year as well. It's, you know, it's trying to learn different languages, and also trying to, even if you can't speak the language, trying to interact with your teammates.
Having empathy for that person as well. I mean, he's coming to England as a young boy.
Correct.
Amazing.
And
he's rounding us out.
Last player, we'll go. Player called Alex Newby. Another player that I play with at Bolton, and he had it very, very, very tough. He was always really, really small, slight, always got left out of clubs and released from clubs because of his height, because he was really, really small. Very talented kid, very technical, and he had to continue to push and push and push and push and push, and he had it very difficult all the way through, but now he's playing professional football in League One. Fantastic. So he stuck with it. He had the mindset that he believed in himself. He continued to push, and now he's playing in the professional ranks in League One in England. So
amazing. Some team for sure. I would like to see it come play against some Malaga City guys this year. I'm sure Angel have a thing or two to say about, you know, Julian Lescott, keep him out of the team. But thank you so much for being so open and you know, sharing your journey, sharing your story, the experiences that you've had here. I mean, wow, incredible. I've got to say, absolute honour to be named. Didn't expect it, but thank you so much. And again, thanks for taking the time to to come on. We're looking forward to the season, looking forward to you getting your first minutes in Tercera, hopefully this weekend or as soon as possible. And thank you for being an example and being the person that you are. Thank you so much, mate.
Thank you.
Appreciate it so much. Going to be looking now to round out the show with a recap as we're getting ready to move on to big games this weekend and what's looking like a fantastic program working into the winter break. And that brings us to the end of our first episode of the club for the 23-24 season. Always great to get the first show done. And I think, huge credit to the guests that have given their time to come on and give such great insight into a little bit more who the people are behind FC Malaga City and getting to know them about their journeys, what's brought them here so far. We hope you've enjoyed it. We hope it's been a useful exercise, and please like our page, share the video, any things you'd like to see, any guests you'd like to request, ideas. We're open to everything. We want this to be a fantastic communication pathway to our families, to our community, that we're so grateful that support the football club and all the things we're trying to do. That's everything from me. We look forward to bringing you the next episode of the club in the near future, and have a fantastic weekend.